Welcome back, sports fans. Guess where we are? Yep, we're in Saskatchewan. What's this? Day 2, 3, 2, 3? Day 2, I think. Anyway, I'm just joking with you. So, you know the reason we came down here for was to gut this crap out of here. Now, this is the funny part about this, is that this is a positive and this is a negative. And this is if you ever wanted something to play with, this is it. It's called a power probe. I don't work for the company, but this thing here saved me a lot of headaches. And as you can see, it's dead. You put positive on positive, negative on negative, and it should light up. But it didn't, because that whole thing is dead. And that's what I've been saying from day one, is that people will go, this intimidates them, so they will leave it there. But it's dead. There's nothing there. So we're going to just rip the bolts out of it, rip the wires out of it, and out the way. There's no power coming through this wire. We got to find it and get rid of it. This is like $10 a foot. So we're going to keep this one. But yeah, we're going to clean this out. Now what we've done is that is 36 by 18 inch. That's going to be your new shower. So we're going to gut this out. We're going to try to leave the aluminum pieces and move the bench back, the desk back, and move it over a bit. And she'll enter it. She can enter it from the outside or the inside. We'll lock the door, of course. So that when she's in there, she won't. Nobody open the door on her, right? We're not that stupid. But anyway, that's where we're going to put a shower there. Now in the back, oh, the back's not open. But in the back, we're going to put on. Hey, put a cork in it. In the back, we're going to put in another vent. Now she got just a vent here on this side, so we'll go more into that because we're going to put in a fantastic fan in the back. So we're going to fill in the one she put by the door because it works, but it looks kind of ugly. So we're going to clean it up and get rid of it. So we're going to cover it with a piece of checker plate and clean it all up, and then she'll suck the air in from the vent and around by her bed and up through. It'll work like a hot damn. So that's our project for today. And
okay, wait a minute. We're not getting rid of that vent I put up there.
What vent?
On the roof.
No, we're keeping it.
Oh, yeah, okay. I misunderstood.
No, we're going to keep that one.
Okay.
We're getting rid of the one by the door.
Oh, where I took one of the lights out. Because it's dripping.
Get rid of that one.
Yeah, perfect.
So,
okay.
Yeah, so I'll leave that with you right now, and we're going to start gutting it. Now, the process of gutting the wiring is you have to be careful. Now, she says the wiring runs on the roof. I've never checked it yet. So I got to check the wiring to make sure there's no live wires or anything, and then you just start gutting it because they're all color-coded, right? So there's a great big gob. This gob of wire here, right here, goes up to the roof, right?
Yeah.
So we're going to get rid of that. This whole thing is going to come right out of there and get rid of it all. There won't be a thing left there when I'm done. So just so you know. So today is Friday. Yeah, today's Friday. We're going to get the vent done and get the wiring out. And then, oh, did we tell you it started? Did we tell them it started?
I just did a video saying you got it running.
Yeah, it ran. It was. We knew what was. We were only there, what, 10 minutes? We knew what was the matter with it. So yeah, but that's what she pays me for, right? To come and tell her what's the matter with it. So anyway, yeah, that's our project for today. So I'll leave that with you. We'll come back when we make a mess or clean it up. I mean,
I really love that this thing is fixed now. I had Badge disconnect it so it doesn't keep dinging every time this door is open. Okay, so what's going to happen is this cupboard is going to move out and over to where the toilet is, because that toilet is going to go in the shower. That's going to come into play right behind this wall when we take out all the wires. So those are disconnected. Those are all disconnected.
okay, sports fans, we've been at this for like 15 minutes, and as you can see, it's gone. This is the, now what you do is mark them for what, I don't care, it doesn't matter. But it's all unhooked. This This is in biblical cord going up to the front. Now all the dash gauges are here, right? Now they're all unhooked. And this is this cable. Now, be very careful. Very careful. This harness here is a truck harness. You don't want to cut that. Just cut the wire ties off there to get that umbilical cord out of there. Because you'll see in a minute that we're going to pull this wire right out through the back. Like, see, it goes out through the back right there. So we're going to cut this, all the wire ties going up to the dash and separate the two wire harness. Now make sure you do not cut this harness. This is your fuel pump harness and your rear light harness and all that stuff. Now everybody thinks that the tail lights are wired out of the back. It's not true. All the wires are run down the frame. So yes, you can cut all this out and just take it out, because all this does is go up behind that dash, which we're going to go. Because we're going to the junkyard the next day or two. We'll get a dash panel and get rid of that whole panel. And get a dash panel there.
Cool.
So that's it. Just be very careful not to cut. Because this one here, okay, if you look under the seat, that's where the ECM is. If you cut that, that is not good.
What's ECM?
Electric control module for the engine and everything. Brakes, all that stuff. You don't want to be cutting that harness. Okay, so that's a major thing. Now back here, all this stuff here is for their batteries that are disconnected over there, the battery cables. So we're going to take that. We'll use that. Somebody will use it for booster cables or something. So we'll save all this wiring because it's good, all good wiring. So there's that panel there. We took out that panel and we never unhooked the wire. Like, we never turned off one. There was no power going to it, so it was just a dead panel. Get it out of there. That thing's like 40, 50 pounds. So basically, this is where our shower is going to go. In here, we might have to revise it a bit.
Oh yeah.
But other than that, like, you got to be very careful with the aluminum stuff, because this stuff is attached to the body. So you got to be, and it's all aluminum and it's all welded. So you got to be careful. Like the boxes and all that stuff are all welded to the main ambulance body. Like, you know, this thing's made to fly over and roll down the hill and drive away. So it's very well built. So we're just going to keep gutting all this stuff, this electric stuff we gutted last year because she didn't need it. There's a plug in here and we just gutted it. So we're going to keep gutting it. But that's the main tax. We got most of it all out now. This harness here goes to the roof. This one here goes up to the front a bit. This is the main one going to the front.
Wait, this goes to the roof? Is this the stuff I'm probably seeing that's running along the ceiling?
And this one.
Because I took all it. Okay.
This one here goes to the air conditioning.
Okay.
And all that stuff. So we'll pull that out. But right now it's all disconnected.
Perfect. Thank you, Badge.
So there you go. So moving on to the next project. Okay, sports fans, what are we into this? About 3.5 hours now. This is all gutted out. This is the one that runs through the roof. Now, this is more for Chrome, because he's going to do this to the 4x4. This is the ambulance harness. Now, this is totally separate from the truck harness. Okay? So this is all ambo stuff, and all come out. That great big one that went up to the front comes up here and comes right up to the front here and goes up to the dashboard. We've cut that all out. All we got left is this little piece here, and after Pullapalooza, that goes up and connects to the marker lights and the ignition and stuff like that. Now, all you Ford guys, now pay attention, okay? I said this before. I'm not going to show you how to do it, but I'm going to tell you what to do. You heard about 7 in his pickup, right? Okay. So underneath the steering column on an ambo, they have it hooked up so they have a remote start in the back so that they can start it up. So what you do is you take your test meter and you put it to ground, okay? Now, and you put in and you hook it into the test meter and check the wires. Okay, now what you want is a start wire. Okay, like so. And then you put it on. Hold that.
Okie dokie.
And then you go and start it and watch it and see the meter.
Oh.
Okay, now watch it. See how it reads the voltage? Okay? Now it doesn't. So that's the blue wire for start. Okay? Now what you do is you cut this wire up in the harness, because this is just parallel with it, and you put this to a switch. I'm not going to tell you where the switch is. You put the switch wherever you want. And then when you get out, you turn the switch off and it won't start. You can't steal it. They'll go and it'll crank and crank and crank and crank and crank and crank and it won't start. So that's how you put a dead man on your truck. I'm not going to show you how to do it. You just have to work with me on it. Okay, you take the blue wire, or this blue wire going to the ignition harness, and you cut it, separate it, and put it to a switch. Okay? And then put the switch wherever you want. In the back, in the front, underneath, in the box. I don't care where you put it. Put it somewhere, turn it off, and then they can't start it. I'll leave that with you, folks. We'll come back to you later.
And so while Badge was doing all of that, Elle and I were working on this. We took out all of the cupboards, the sink, the foot pedal, cupboard up there. All of that's out. And then Badge went back in here and took everything out that was from the original ambulance electrical section that was connected to shore power. So all of that has been removed and we're gonna rebuild this. And because that exterior cabinet goes lower, it gives me more room for my height. That is where my shower is going to be. My shower toilet will be in there tucked away.
Okay, so see this red or white with a red chaser? That's your start wire, see? Now I got it unhooked so it won't start, right? So that's your start wire. I'm not going to show you any more. I'm going to take that wire, two wires, and put up the toggle switch somewhere. We haven't decided where we're going to put it yet. And you put the switch and turn it off and it won't start. See, it won't start right now. It'll go on, but it won't start. And if it won't start, I'll guarantee you whoever's trying to steal it will just take off. Because they haven't got time to, who would ever think that there'd be a toggle switch in it, right? And I'll guarantee you, they won't do nothing with it. The only thing they'll do is break your ignition, maybe. That's about all. And
so they're not going to steal my home.
They're not going to steal it. They won't be able to get it going. It won't crank.
Okay.
They're breaking the wire going to the crank. And who's going to think of that? Nobody. So that's how you do it. On a Econoline, it's the white with the red chaser coming off the ignition switch. Okay, so I have the switch hooked up. And you notice I got a long wire. I'm not showing you where I put it. Okay, so here. Just a toggle switch. It won't start, right? Flip the switch. See? You can turn it off. You can do whatever you want with it. Okay, so turn it off. And it won't. That's how you stop them from stealing a Ford. Right there. I'm not going to tell you where I'm going to put the switch, but that's it. For a little girl, she sure makes a lot of noise.
That's probably good. My butyl tape is in a sandwich bag. It's gray. It's probably on the floor in there. Well, that made for a very busy day. It's the next morning. I'm leaving right away to go do my skydive, and that will be in the next video. Much love, everyone.